channel, or not familiar with the name of this channel is Steve's Art and Fun. And, you know, this channel basically covers a lot of things, but most of the stuff it covers just has to do with, like, your leisure life, you know. It just gives you ideas, and a lot of the time, I just, you know, like, I speak my mind on the channel. I don't really, I don't really, like, try to tell people how to live their lives, or, like, you know, I don't really try to, like, I don't really try to influence people, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say I don't think I'm a good speaker. I don't think, like, I have much structure. I honestly would think I'm sloppy and lack structure. And, you know, I mean, at least on YouTube, I think I lack structure. But this channel's pretty much to just give you fun ideas and to give you my opinion and perspective on certain, what's the word, certain subjects and stuff. And, you know, that's pretty much what it is. You know, I like to make jokes on the channel. I don't know, I guess I'm trying to figure, should I make this rant a kid-friendly rant? I think so. I think maybe I can get away with it. I think I'll try. I think I'll try to make this, like, a rant that's not so laden with cursing and things that, you know, kids can't watch it and it can't be monetized, because that's not a good thing. So, you know, if you don't know, this is Steve's Art and Fun channel, and I'd just appreciate it if you did like and sub and share, you know, especially if you're not really familiar with this channel. Well, actually, no, more so if you are familiar with this channel, to do that, and just enjoy the rant. And, you know, if you're offended by anything in these videos or rants, and this isn't your type of fun or your type of thing, then, you know, you can go find another channel, man. YouTube always runs out, it can be annoying. So, you know what happens then. So, I'll admit, you guys, I'm a little frustrated because the computer has been being very slow. For stupid reasons, it feels like, I swear I'm going to destroy this thing. Well, actually, no, I can't, because, whoops, I forgot, honestly, I've been borrowing this computer from someone. So, swear to God. I swear, man. The problem is this: the computer is being slow, and I think what it kind of has to do with is the Steam program. The program Steam
because and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. I'm not gonna try to like bash on it or slander or anything, but this is a thing, right? So Steam, when Steam is on your computer, it tends to hang around, and then also it wants to reload itself. The annoying thing is, you buy a game from Steam, you want to just play the game. Its icon is on your computer. You want to click on it and freaking just play it. But then Steam thinks that it wants to connect to this whole matrix, like, you know, like as if you're trying to play online with people, or you're trying to upload, or you're trying to do all this fancy stuff. So it wants to give you updates. It wants to connect. It wants to do, and it is a huge load of just, I don't know why it's so hectic, heavy, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know why it's whatever it is. Well, my point is this. However, that whole thing works, can slow your computer, depending on what's going on, or what type of computer you have, or what you already have on it. And it's not all that I think is doing that, is making it slow, but it's messing up my recording. It's messing. So I'm getting really pissed off. And I swear, if this computer was like my computer, and this computer was something I didn't necessarily need, I will take this knife and I will stick it as far through this goddamn computer as possible, right? And then I will pull it back out, and I will take this computer and bend its screen off, and I will smash this computer into a blue. I'll probably pick up that piece of concrete there and smash it with that too, because I'm sick and tired of this crap. It's like, my point is this, is that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm working. It makes you frustrated when you feel like you're the only thing that's working, or you're the only one that's working. It's frustrating. It makes you get really pissed off, because you're thinking like, okay, well, I got everything set up. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I just want to get this over with. I have the same issue at work. I go to work. I try to use my scanner. I'm supposed to be scanning boxes. The scanner doesn't want to boot up. It wants to be slow. You know, I'm pressed for time. The scanner wants to be slow. I'm working fast. I'm not trying to what's the word? I'm not trying to slack. I'm working like a machine. I'm actually working faster than most people. And then the scanner itself, oh, it wants to be slow. So I'm thinking, oh, so you can't keep up, huh? Okay. And I just want to take it and just friggin' smash it to pieces. Because after a while, it gets frustrating. At first, it's like, okay, I get it, okay, but then my patience starts to wear off. So that's something that just has been going on. So apart from these things are still cold. Hold on, one second. 1 second. So, I was surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised that those beers are still cold. I mean, people are saying it's chilly outside. It's really not actually. It's not chilly. I wouldn't say chilly. What are you out there in your drawers? but I mean, the beer's still cold. So it's funny because it actually kind of ties into what I'm going to talk about in this rant in a second.
So, sad story, but true story. So when I did the first recording, both audio and video for this rant, I accidentally deleted it because I was trying to create more space in folders and I was trying to organize them better, and in the chaos of that I accidentally deleted the very most crucial important part and clip of the rant and video. So I'll make it a shorter version. It went on too long anyway, so I'll shorten it and I'll actually add to it with this rant. So it originally was going to be a rant about the rake creature. What in the hell am I hearing right now? Well, there's something in my room. What? Oh my god. So I'm assuming that a fly is flying in either a piece of foil or an empty wrapper of some sort because it must think that it's going to gain something from doing so. And I'm probably just going to end up killing it anyway, like I've killed so many other flies. And it's not going anywhere. So it's in a hurry just to get killed. So whatever, I'll just let it go. And I'll try to find the fly later if I even can. So what I was saying was basically there was I was trying to rant about the rake, and I was trying to explain something about certain attributes of the rake and trying to put it together to where it would make more sense to people. What I was trying to do was I was trying to apply some of the knowledge I know about our anatomy and animals' anatomy to descriptions of the rake to try to make sense of certain odd behaviors about it, like the hanging mouth that seems to gape open, hang open, sometimes having what's described as beak-like teeth or beak-like mouth or whatever, having dark eyes that are described as like being holes for eyes, that type of stuff, certain type of things about it that to someone would seem to make no sense at all. But I'm not saying that I have a knack for putting things together that make sense and often end up being right, but I do sometimes. And to me, when I hear about this rake creature, it does not sound so far-fetched or so wild or crazy of an idea. It just freaks people out. That's the simplest way to put it. It's just people are very jarred by things that they really don't understand, and people have a natural inherent ability to feel emotions of fear towards certain type of things or things that have a certain look or vibe. Me, I tend to gravitate more towards things of that nature instead of being afraid of them, which would make sense. I mean, think of it. I am a Satanist. Okay, think of it. I am a Satanist. I do sometimes have dark or more fringe or gothic tendencies. You know what I mean? I tend to gravitate towards music and things like that. Spiritually, obviously, I tend to gravitate towards things more of a violent, dark, grittier type of nature. Obviously, you can tell that I love weapons, okay? I'm a martial artist, and when it comes to weapons, I just love weapons of all sorts. I don't care, not that I don't care what type of weapon it is, but pretty much, if I know nothing about a weapon, and you're like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to use it, I'll probably be at least somewhat interested in seeing the mechanics, in the art, in the intricacies that go into using them. Whatever weapon that is, whether that's a real firearm, a toy firearm, a fake weapon, a training weapon, a real weapon, an improvised weapon. It's just something about the darker aspect of the world in very primitive things. I tend to gravitate towards them, and not only have a gravitation towards them, but have a natural affinity for understanding and learning things of that nature. So things like that don't really bother, nor do they really scare me. I mean, initially the thought is a little jarring. You know, it's a little jarring. But enough of the rake, because this was going to be like just another rake rant. But I talked about the rake so much that it's played out in my mind. So what I wanted to talk about was, so I seen this video, right? And I seen this video of this dog, and I'm gonna try to keep this short, like really. But I seen a video of this dog, and it was a raccoon dog, they were calling it, right? And now this dog, this really struck out to me. It really stuck out because, what the? Alright. Oh God, it's a motorcycle. Are you kidding me? You know, one of these days, man, if I get enough money, I'm gonna get me one of those motorcycles, man. For real. I'm probably get a 4-wheeler and a motorcycle, because those things are cool. But it's loud as hell. I'm trying to record right now. Someone's outside driving by with a motorcycle. But I'm not gonna get off topic. But I was gonna say, so this raccoon dog, right? I'm looking at it and I'm really analyzing it. I'm thinking of all these descriptions of like cryptids and, you know, dogmen people have seen. And I'm like, now, I don't know if this has slipped past someone, but I'm going to talk about this because I feel like it has eluded people. And one of the things I try to do is I try to talk on things that people maybe don't they don't connect the dots, so it eludes them. And then I try to just make it plain for you, so you start to understand and make connections, be like, oh, I see what's real, I see what's going on. Other people may not notice, but now I see what's going on. So if you ever really look at a raccoon and a dog, they're very distinctly different, but they do have some similarities, right? Now, the biggest similarity between a, quote, raccoon dog and a raccoon are the markings, are the colorings. But also think, look at the anatomy, like look at the feet, right? Look at the paws on a dog, but then look at the paws, which look more like hands on a raccoon, and the feet and everything, right? And the tail. Now look at a lemur's tail and look at a raccoon's tail, right? And then look at a dog again, and start to understand that, like, when people have talked about witnessing a dog man that has a more lemur-like tail or a raccoon-like tail, or those type of like marking, that color, that pattern, that weird coloring pattern that raccoons seem to have, in some dogs, like the raccoon dogs seem to have, which is, you know, it's like you're thinking, well, they're supposed to be two completely separate species. Why do they look so similar? What's the connection? Well, I just think that, like, there's an archetype in a format for many living things that have very nuanced things that kind of jump back and forth between both species, even though they're really separated. And there is an evolutionary path. Now, I'll also say there's a very human-like evolutionary path that some, quote, animals can take on. And what I mean by that is there are some counterparts to animals that are more human, like this dog man. And when I saw the thing, I thought of Rocket Raccoon, actually, because you got to think of, like, and often I do think of Rocket Raccoon when I think of the dog man, because you think of how the ability to walk in a plantigrade manner and in a digitigrade type of manner, you have a very agile body, you have a very springy foot, you have a different type of foot, you have a very stealthy, very agile, very springy foot that can transition to this weird, like, flat to the ground plantigrade, but then it's so long and narrow it can just jump to this digitigrade almost type of stance, and it can do it so fast and it can switch between walking bipedally and quadrupedally in such this quick, fast manner that it makes you think of things like, you know, Rocket Raccoon, Van Helsing werewolf, you know, things that people think are only in movies that you see in movies, you know. But these things are real, though. There are things out there that can do things like that will run circles around a person, obviously, you know, that are hyper hyper strong and fast, and they have that weird body that is it's so in between a animal and a person that they can just move in a certain way that no person or animal is that versatile. That's what I'm really trying to say. They're not that versatile, you know. And it is almost like a specialized ability, but it's because it's a specialized anatomy. You know, these things have a certain really specialized, weird type of anatomy that allows them to do all these weird things. You know, and it also makes me think of the story, the real story about the LBL monster. You know, the LBL Dogman story. And this guy is talking about the long, narrow feet. Now, he may have seen what he thought was like just simply long, narrow feet on these things. But I'd almost be willing to bet that they have that same weird foot setup where they have the ability to where it looks just like Rocket Raccoon, kind of. Like, it looks like just a long, narrow, skinny foot. But really what it really is it is a, like I said, it's a digitigrade foot that has the ability to lay flat like a plantigrade foot, because it has the ability to take that part that normally be just up always on a dog, and it's a different type of setup a little bit. It's a little more human too, and it's probably more flexible in certain spots. And I think what it really is it's just an adaptation for a creature to be able to move between different positions very fast, you know. And you have to understand, now you talk about like versatility and stealth and all that, and speed and agility and all that. Something like that would be so versatile that it would just blow a person's mind. You know, you'd be like, how can something move? You know, it's because of the way it's designed. If your bones are a certain way, your bones, muscles, and everything connect a certain way, and you're designed a certain way, then you can do incredible things, you know? Like, you can do things that people think are, like, impossible almost, you know? And people think it sounds like sci-fi, but this is reality. You know, you have to understand, people that have encountered things like the Dogman, the Rake, a Bigfoot, things like that, they have seen these things do things to where, you know, you don't understand how something could do that. You're like, how, you know, or how could it move that way, or how could it be that fast? Well, that's because of the way it is built. You know, it's just a different type of thing than just a person, you know, or any normal animal that we know of, really, the science that's popular in a mainstream, known and accepted as a reality. So, you know, I had to talk about that because I'm not going to say like, okay, all cryptids are built the same. All cryptids have a base anatomy or a base movement. No, it's not that. It's that if you pay enough attention, you learn that there are things that, like, there are similarities that all of them share. That every cryptid that's known really pretty much shares these certain characteristics that you understand. Like, it is an archetype, and it is like a system. You know, it is like it's a build. It's a rig. It's literally like it's kind of like, you know, you have like your cows and you got your deers and your goats and there is a theme going on here that's eluding a lot of people. You know, it is eluding, and there's much more to this that I really know about, but I'm not going to talk that deeply into it, and I'll save it for probably another video. And some people probably wouldn't even believe it if I really went way into certain things that I'm knowledgeable about. But the thing is this, right? There is a base. You know what I mean? There is a base. There is a theme, like I said again. And I'm not going to say like this either. It's just like this. I'm not going to say like, okay, every human moves the same, every person fights the same, every animal fights the same, or no, because that's an old way overgeneralization of or saying, you know, every being that's a predator, that even a human hunts the same. No, it's that's going way off, because that's not true at all. But what you really, if you have to pick up, just like in the martial arts world, you have to really pay attention and pick up this. If you know anything about martial arts, you got to understand that it's not that everyone does this the same, or it's all the same thing. No, it's that there are really serious consistencies between many different things in different styles and ways that people want to do things. But there's just there are similarities that you will always find connect, right? Think about it. Just really think about it and apply that to like anything you know about. Like, for instance, if you know anything about cooking, you do know there is almost like a similar protocol with everything. Like, you know, you do things in this step, in this order, and there are weird variations in exceptions, but you get, I know you smart people out there get what I'm saying, and unless you're really, I hate to say it like this, but unless you're really stupid, you probably don't understand anything I'm saying. But most people are pretty smart. You get what I'm really trying to hit home. I'm trying to hit home that, like, you need to start paying more attention to the world around you. And I'm only saying that because because people are always looking for answers. And the thing is, the answers are there, but you have to realize the right places and sources to go to really get these answers. And then you have to also be honest with yourself. My thing is this, is usually when you find something out, it's not that you can't grasp it, it's that your mind is so afraid that you don't want to believe it's true. So you try to tell yourself that, nah, there's no way it could be real like that. You're like, no, there's no way. I said this before. You see, like, the dog man, for instance, you're saying, no way can something be that intelligent. I can't accept it. You don't want to accept it. You don't want to accept that a monster, a literal beast, a monster that you've seen out of a movie, is a real thing and is probably just as smart as you are, but doesn't need to know the certain skills that you know. Like, it may not need to know how to use a credit card, or how to speak, or how to drive a car. It maybe doesn't need to know those things, but it probably has the potential as much as you do, you know. But it is a hulking beast. It's a crazy creature that, you know, is intimidating. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you have to understand that in this real world, it's just another person like you are. It's just a different type of person. You know, it's just a different type of person that comes from, I don't know what genetics, gene pool or source or whatever, I don't know. But it's another type of person that is sharing this planet with us, just like all these other things. And they're very scary. You know, they are very scary to people. It's not and very jarring. So it's like in one part of your mind wants to calm down and accept the truth. Like, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, I get it. It's another person. It's another thing. And it takes people sometimes even years to come to that step. Like, to say, it's not just an animal. It's not just a thing. This is another intelligent being, which is another type of person. That's all it makes a person. You know, and you have to look at it like, okay, alright, like, I don't really know anything about this. This is weird and scary, but, like, okay, this is what we're on this planet with. This is another race, another species of not human necessarily. Human is just another weird type of person that's on this planet. That's all it is. Another being that we're on this planet. So, with all that being said, like I said before, pay attention to everything that's around you. You know, like, next time when you're looking at a picture of an animal or something, or you're looking at your pet dog, or you're looking at a person's face or something, or, you know, you're looking at, like, an insect or the ground or plants, and you realize how similar we all actually are. Like, you have to really realize how all it takes, literally, is a small movement in the frequency of, like, you know, the gene code, the DNA, the chromosomes, this, to change something into something that is way off. That's all it really actually takes, really, to make a being, you know, a living thing. It's like, it's not that wild and crazy of a concept. Okay, like look at an ape or a monkey. You know, you look at how human it actually is. You know, you have to really pay attention, like I said, to everything around you, and really realize, like, you know, people are lying to you your whole life. Like the government is lying to you. Everything is a deception. You know, it's a big lie. So they want you to believe that, oh, none of that could ever exist. But it's actually right in front of your face. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna cut this rant here, and I was gonna do a review of this Cayman Jack beer stuff. And I will say, okay, so I tried it, right? And I tried some of the flavors, and they were amazing. I give it a 10 out of 10. That is my grade of the Cayman Jack. Okay, that's my grade of it. It is a 10 out of 10. And I'm not sponsored by anything or anybody, so sadly, I can't say that I'm sponsored. So I'm just giving you my opinion. I usually don't review things, but you know, I figured it was worth it. It was worth reviewing that on this rant or on this channel because I enjoyed it so much. And I was like, I'm gonna have to buy another box of this again. Like this was so awesome. Like it was. And only thing I could say about it is it's not typically very strong, but the flavor is amazing. So this is Steve's Art and Fun channel. This is kind of like just another rake rant. It's a cryptid rant, and yeah, that's the end of it. And if you watch other videos on this channel, it'll tell you the email. I might even put it in the maybe not the description, but I might have popped it up on the screen where to email me at on this, you know, on this channel if you want to email me, because I will be telling people stories like your cryptid, your paranormal stories, your wild stories, your gutter stories, all types of stories that you think are interesting, or stories that'll make people open their mouth and drop their jaw, their jaws, and be like, what? You know, I'll tell your story anonymously on this channel if that's what you want. But you have to send me the story into the email. You know, the wayslenny@gmail.com. You got to send it in, because if you don't, then how am I going to tell your story? You know, how am I going to do that? So I hope you enjoyed the rant, and have a nice night or day.